Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the NFC Championship game on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. From midfield, here's Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this has started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll try to run with a J. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey from 3 yards out. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result.
And now it's blocked. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led onto the field by their 6'6" quarterback, the former Arizona Wildcat, Nick Foles.
And each time I sit down to evaluate Nick Foles, I end up tipping my cap to him because this guy has experienced some highs in the NFL, gone to the Pro Bowl as a starting quarterback, had a year where he had 27 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions, led a team to the playoffs. But he had some lows as well. He's been benched, been a backup along the way. But at the end of it all, Super Bowl 52 MVP will always be etched next to his name.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Now Foles. Setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
On on second down, Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a third down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Lutz puts this one through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the field goal that cuts the lead in half as they, too, are able to get some points on their initial drive of the game.
Yeah, all in all, a pretty positive response, right, to the points that were scored against them. And they got a little help from their opponent anyway. Missed the conversion, so now they're just 3 back.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Play action. Now Wentz. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And he hits his man, Matthews. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here's Ajayi. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Foles. He gets this one complete to Tre'Quan Smith. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Foles. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 more yards there and another first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? Oh, boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in that meeting. Yeah. But they like you. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. 1 quarter down, 3 to go on the road to the Super Bowl. It's a 3-point game here early, and we're back to Philadelphia after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. They'll drop the throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Come on now, let's go. I got it left. Back. 120.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that of just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
That's complete to Meredith. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And this is good for a 1st down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A give. This is Kamara. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, Ingram. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
He'll drop to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now back to throw. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end, and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Wentz. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. Third down here. From the gun, it's Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. And now the third down. Oh, here's pressure, and the Saints block it.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you. In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Now Foles. And that's incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really, by the way?
That he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. And now another one thrown incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine a head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They run with Ajayi. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, Wentz. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, what half remains in the battle to see who will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half, as one of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. To find out who, let's turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses. Catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And Thomas has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And an alley to run. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Foles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Foles. And his throw is incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame. Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will tie us at 12 all. Well, no touchdowns, but field goals, field goals, field goals. Another one. He's now hit 4, and that's all we've seen, kickers.
You know, the points on the board still count. Doesn't matter how they're scored, right? And we give these guys a ton of grief, don't we? Are they real players? They're real players when you need those points on the board, aren't they? And that's what we've seen in this game.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked up by Marcus Williams. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have moved out in front.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that will shave one more off this lead. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He finds an opening past the 40. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. 34 yards there and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Ertz has it left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Wins to throw on second down. Ertz over the middle. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And Eagle first down there. Wins to Ertz and the names that end in TZ.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Wentz, and this one's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now a play fake. Wentz. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking long for Thomas. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and now it's 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're the NFL 2 for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That's just flat out a terrific play, because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. This is Ajayi. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then it curls back inside for the completion.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
1 quarter remains until the NFC. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. He'll drop to throw. That's caught by Meredith, right side. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. 2nd and goal from the 1. They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So they dial up the blitz on 3rd and inches. It pays off.
And frankly, they were probably dialing up a run blitz, expecting him to run it in that situation. But instead, they end up back at the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Shotgun now for Wentz. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Wentz will try again on second down. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And this is good for a first down, his second grab of this NFC Championship bout.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 36 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And this is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Play action. Now Wentz. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Matthews, 26 yards. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And now we're all even. Brand new ball game, tie game.
In a sense, you're starting over. Tie ball game, everyone's back to even, back to equal. A good job getting back in it.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Smith catches left side. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Foles. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw now on first down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, second and goal. Back to throw again. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Max Williams, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have moved out in front. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On second down, here's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
There's a complete to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell, and he will take it on out to the 20-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Foles. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Here's Foles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And now running right through it. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Time for a break. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Kamara. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw here. He's got a man. It's Williams. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, we'll likely put an end to this thing. They run it again with Kamara. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. On third down, here's Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
Try and get it all back with 1 big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And that last penalty makes this third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Wentz to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Wentz, got to have this one. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may do it for this NFC title game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. Charles, let's focus for a second on the losing side. In a couple months, they may look back and say, wow, it was a great season. But right now, I guarantee they're feeling no sugarcoating on this one.
And you can already see the T-shirts at training camp next year, can't you? Unfinished business. Because they've got to find a way to motivate these guys to go through all the same pain, right? All the same tough stuff, and find their way back and give themselves a chance to win this game again next year.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.
Oh.